Hello, I'm Andy Agafangelo, the founder of the Transparency Task Force. We are an international community dedicated to reforming the way the financial services sector works. We operate through many groups. One of our groups is called PICES. PICES stands for the P for purposefulness. We feel the financial services sector needs to embrace a true sense of its purpose. The I is for impact investing, the S for sustainability, the C for climate change, the E for ESG, and the last S for socially responsible investing. We had earlier today one of our PICES group Zoom meetings, and one of our participants, Peter Young, made a comment that led Peter and I to have a conversation, which led to this short video. So in a moment, I'm going to pass over to Peter, who's going to explain who he is, what he does, and why we're having this conversation. But essentially, the message is this. If you have any interest in topics such as sustainability and you have any connection with mainstream financial services, then you really ought to get in contact with Peter, because he's doing some profoundly important work and he could do with your help. So Peter, please tell everybody a bit about yourself, your background, and why we're having this conversation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Andy. That's great, and thank you for the opportunity to do this. So I am Peter Young. I want to talk to you particularly about my role as chair of the International Standards Organization, ISO Committee on Sustainable Finance. But before I do that, maybe I should just introduce myself. So I have a long-term sort of history in sustainability, working in the private sector, not just in the financial and M&A community, but also in mainstream industry and for governments. And more recently, over the last 15 years, I've been involved in both a number of government advisory bodies, including the Green Economy Council, founded or something called Aldersgate Group in the UK, which is a small NGO pushing for high environmental legislative standards, and have been involved a lot with sustainability and green economy and green financing. So, for example, I'm also a trustee of something called the Green Purposes Company, which holds a special share in the now privatized Green Investment Bank, which is the Green Investment Group that's part of Macquarie, to hold it true to its green purposes. So some regulatory experience too. So the hat I want to talk about, though, is in the last just under 2 years ago, a new International Standards Organization committee was formed in sustainable finance. And you might think that there's a lot of standards and guidance out there to the financial community already, covering topics such as climate bonds and climate disclosures and other green elements. But there isn't really at the moment a consistency around that needs a degree of harmonization. And ISO, with an organization of 164 countries, and my own committee, which already has 35 participating countries, including all the major economies, has a real opportunity to bring some convergence between the activities that are already happening and to accelerate the transition towards moving capital towards sustainable outcomes that will contribute to either UN Sustainable Development Goals or the Paris climate goals. And we have a huge task that we have to move very quickly on this. So I'm reaching out to you today to say, I want to see more participants, experts in the International Standards Organization language, working with me on these standards that we're currently actively working on, and also those that we want to produce, guided by the industry itself as to where the needs are highest. And I would love to hear from more people who have mainstream financial backgrounds rather than more specific sustainability backgrounds, to ensure that we have the know-how to design these standards to work well within the financial community, within the financial systems that are already present. And I would very much welcome you getting involved through either your country, where there are committees already of experts in place, or through your trade organizations, many of whom are already direct members of our organization, people like Sustainability Accounting Standards Board or the Global Alliance for Banking on Values, or Climate Bonds Initiative, etc. So any of those kind of organizations, you recognize them. So to do that, it's very easy. You can Google ISO TC322. These all have numbers, the Sustainable Finance Committee, and you'll find the links there. Or you can get in touch through Transparency Task Force, and they can put you in touch directly with me. But I really would love to hear from you if you have an interest in this area, because the bigger the community we can build, the faster we can work and the more influence we can have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Peter. That was a very crystal clear message. So the bottom line, folks, is this: if you have any interest whatsoever in helping the cause for sustainability, then please do make contact. Contact through the Transparency Task Force if you wish. That's absolutely fine, and we'll connect you with Peter, and he'll tell you more about what he wants, why he wants it, and how you can help. Thank you very much indeed. That's pretty much this short, unexpected advertisement over and done with. Thank you. Hope it was of some interest. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Peter.